Good morning, dear friends, and please be seated. Good morning and welcome to High Point University's 2024 undergraduate commencement ceremony. Today is a very special day, as you all know, in the lives of our graduates and certainly in the lives of their families. We're so proud of them. We are proud of you, graduates. We're proud of your accomplishments, and we salute you, everyone and all of you, as ambassadors, extraordinary ambassadors for High Point University. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me speak to all of you for just a moment. I want to thank you rather for your flexibility, your understanding, your cooperation. That is the High Point University spirit. I know you did not know till 6 o'clock this morning whether we're going to be inside here or outside. Please know that our staff has worked laboriously, diligently, professionally. We had more than 24 people who stayed up all night long just to watch the weather every single second. They were in touch with the U.S. Weather Service. They were in touch with the local weather people right down to the last second. And this is a God family country school. So when we made the decision, what did God do? He made it rain. So those of you who could have blamed us otherwise now have no reason to do that. And had we met there, it would be muddy and the grass will be wet, and we think there's 40% chance of lightning today. So safety comes first. So what do area universities and colleges do? I think you might know. Most of them offer 2 tickets, maybe 4 tickets, and that's that. We had the president of a major university here speaking to our graduation of graduate students on Thursday, and I asked him, what does he do? He said, we cancel the event. High Point University, we cancel nothing. We figure it out. I want your children to know. We figure it out. Listen, COVID came and went, and what did we do? We stayed open at High Point University. And you, ladies and gentlemen, trusted us with your children. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. In every way, you stood by us, you believed in us, you wrote me notes saying we entrust you with our child. We'd rather have him or her on campus than in our home. We have 6,050 students, 120 of them stayed home and studied remotely, and the rest of them came to campus, and we took care of your kids. Now, students, you know I love you, and I'm going to miss you. And the only reason we're inside and the only reason it rained today, we'll blame it all on the New Jersey families. What? I love the New Jersey families. We charge them an extra 10% under miscellaneous. And so far, nobody has caught us in the act. Thank you, God. Oh, my goodness. My dear students, we have spent a lot of time together. I've seen you come and go. You've written me. Some of you have spent Wednesday afternoons talking with me, asking me questions. You've waved at me. Every time I saw you, I waved at you. I rolled my window and talked to you. We have a relationship, you and I. You started on this campus with the freshman seminar, and I got to know you, and you got to know me. We're all here, 2,400 of us, employees of High Point University, because of you, because we care about you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 1 full-time employee for every 2.8 students. No other school in America could possibly say that. No school of our size could ever claim that. We've done our best to give you an extraordinary education in an inspiring environment with caring people. That doesn't mean we're perfect. It just means we're excellent. And that's our goal every day. Now, you were born, most of you, in 2001. 2001 is when this country saw one of the most devastating experiences in its entire history. 9/11 happened, 2001. We have a Patriots Plaza here, where our students honor that day in its memory and all those who lost their lives. And then, students, when you were about 8 or 9, your parents watched their 401k become 101k. That's called the Great Recession. Most disrupted economic times in the last 90 years in America's history. And then students, when it came your time to graduate from high school, you were denied that experience. And most schools said, that's tough luck, that's just the way it is. What did High Point University do? We started a graduate program, Communication Business Leadership, and offered it to you tuition free. It was the least we could do to tell you we feel with you. We understand these are difficult times. And this institution, as the video said before we walked in, and your parents watched it, this is your home. This will always be your home. I just want you to know that I'm not sorry that we're meeting inside. You know why? It's much nicer in here. It's air conditioned. I don't have to put sun lotion on my face. And we don't have to worry about rain and lightning and thunderstorms. And look at you, all over this place. And some who are watching us in the conference center. Welcome everyone to High Point University. Now, students, I want to do something special for you. As I was shaving this morning, thinking about you, although some of you don't shave every day, but I was thinking about you. And I said, what can we do to this class? This is the COVID class, for crying out loud. And so here's what we've decided to do. You know this new sign that says, I love High Point University, that lights up at night? Do you like it? You like the sign? We will this summer extend the size of that plaza, and we will put a new brick in that plaza with your name on it, every one of you. And then we'll have a big sign and saying, at High Point University, we say, choose to be extraordinary. And this class chose to be extraordinary in spite of COVID, in spite of the rain, in spite of any difficulty that came their way. They stood tall and said, we shall be counted. All things are possible. No such thing as unrealistic dreams, only unrealistic timelines. Circumstances in which we find ourselves don't define who we become. They only determine where we start. So on this morning, we have a birthday. And you know about our tradition here. When it's your birthday, you get a card from me delivered to your room, Starbucks card along with it. Your name will be broadcast throughout campus. The Starbucks card is free. But then we increase the tuition the next year. So we do have some birthday this morning. We actually have 3 of them. And I want to ask you to stand, student, if it's your birthday. Paige Cardiner, are you here? Paige, where are you, Paige? Stand up, Paige. Stand up, Paige. Oh, there's Paige right there. And remain standing, Paige. Margaret Millardo, where are you? Margaret. And Cassia O'Brien. Is it Cassia or Cassia? There you are. Now, I don't know when was the last time you had about 8,000 people right here presently to sing for you, but all of us going to sing to all 3 of you. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? 1, 2, and happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Many happy returns of the day. We want to recognize another group of distinguished guests this morning. I see you over there. Thank you for being with us. If you have served in the armed services, some of you I see over there, if you have served or are serving in any branch of the United States Armed Forces, would you please stand so we can thank you for your service? Everybody, if you're serving or have served, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, and God bless you. Now, to honor America and a recognition of the graduating class of 2024, please give your attention to the presentation of colors by High Point University's Air Force ROTC students and to the singing of the national anthem by our own chamber singers. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please stand with our veterans as we honor the United States of America, and please remain standing for the invocation.
More time. Arch. Colors. Turn. Arch. Detail. Halt. Present. Arms. Forward. Arch.
Good morning. Let us pray. All-wise and all-knowing God, we humbly and honorably bow before Thee with grace, love, and thanksgiving, and with the most sincere and honest praise. We ask that you bless this commencement ceremony, We thank you for the ability to safely gather on this glorious day, for this is the day that you, O Lord, have made, and we shall all rejoice and be glad in it. You have brought us all together from various places to celebrate the phenomenal accomplishments of your sons and daughters, the graduating class of 2024. We thank you for patience, perseverance, and for the university support and for support of family, friends, and staff. We thank you, Lord, for giving us comfort in Scripture when realizing dreams at times seemed impossible and completion of any sort seemed implausible. We thank you for Romans 8:28, which reassures us that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. We thank you for High Point University's centennial, 100 years of educational wisdom and foundation. We are so blessed, God, and we thank you. So as these graduates go forth in pursuit of their heavenly dreams, Lord, help them to remember all that has been instilled in them, personally, professionally, and spiritually. In the midst of difficult times, help them to continually lean on your word in Philippians 4:13, which is, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. Help them to remember, Lord, that they can do all things through you who strengthens them. May we all depart this ceremony, especially thy graduates, with confidence, wisdom, strength, and the peace of God that surpasses all understanding. May these graduates soar high on wings like eagles and run and not grow weary as they pursue big heavenly dreams. As we close this prayer, O Lord, let us not forget all of those who have invested or vested their talents and resources into these graduates. May they also be strengthened and restored and blessed abundantly. Thank you, Heavenly Father, and we ask these things in your holy name. Amen.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning you're going to hear from a number of people who are on this platform. I'm going to ask all of our platform guests to now stand and be recognized. Thank you all for being here. These are our deans and our class president and our guest speaker and an honored guest and others. We're glad that all of them are with us. Thank you very much. We're all honored to have some representatives from the class of 1974 with us today. I saw you march in and then go sit in the special area there. We're so glad that you're here. This class is celebrating a significant milestone this year, their 50th reunion. They will be inducted into the prestigious Cornerstone Club, a club that recognizes alumni as they reach this momentous occasion. Members of the class of 1974 who are with us here today, representing that class, we're honored by your presence. We thank you for being here. You continue to be a source of great pride for this university and for the Alumni Association as well. Thank you for your leadership, your guidance, your continued support of your alma mater. And now may I ask the guests who represent the class of 1974 to please stand so we can all applaud them and welcome them back home. Thank you very much. And now it is my honor to introduce to you the president of the senior class, Mr. Braden Boyle from Baltimore, Maryland, and graduating with a he's also a television star, this guy, with a degree. He's graduating with a degree in business administration. In addition to being the senior class president, Braden has served in several leadership roles during his 4 years at HBU, within the student government, with community standards, residence life, fraternity and sorority life. Sorority life? Huh? When we said we believe in inclusion, we didn't mean that. I get it. That's what it's called, fraternity and sorority life. He was interfraternity president, a Dean's List recipient, an advisory board member of the National Interfraternity Council, a resident assistant, and is a member of Beta Theta Pi fraternity and Order of Omega, the Greek Honor Society. Recognized as HBU extraordinary leader and recipient of the University's Senior Award for Outstanding Leadership, which she got yesterday morning in front of a large crowd in the conference center and here. Many of you were here. Braden was also instrumental in planning the big student concert which was held in October 2023. You spent too much money. To bring a word of greeting on this festive day, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my friend, a gentleman I admire. No question his life is going to be filled with success and framed with significance. Senior Class President, Mr. Braden Boyle.
Thank you, President Cobain, for your leadership and kind introduction, Provost Erb, the Board of Trustees, our commencement speaker, Glenn Stearns, and to all of the amazing faculty and staff that have made this day possible. A huge thank you to all of you. Before I go any further, I'd like to ask a simple question with a raise of hand. Who in this class had a drive-by, virtual, non-normal, or no graduation in the spring of 2020 due to COVID-19? Thank you. Well, class of 2024, we made it. Before we go any further, I want to capture this moment. Sorry, I'm going off script real quick. Let's take a quick selfie to bring it in. Thank you. Sorry, Dr. Cobain. Welcome to what is some of our first graduation ever. As I stand before you today, honored in this momentous occasion of High Point University's 100th commencement, I find myself overcome and overwhelmed with emotions that are nearly impossible to put into words, but I will simply try my best without getting emotional. As I reflect on the last 4 years in this incredible institution, I'm forever blessed and beyond grateful for the people in this audience who have shaped me and my classmates into who we are today. Despite the obstacles, the challenges, the uncertainties, and even COVID-19, we stand here today as graduates, ready to embark on the next chapter of our lives. As we celebrate this remarkable achievement, let's take a walk down memory lane of our 4 years at this special place. Entering during a national pandemic in August 2020 was quite literally an experience for us all, and we overcame. Along with the university, we were able to move to college, unlike other universities, ensuring a somewhat normal start to our academic career. Despite COVID, social distancing, masks, quarantine, and nothing but 19 magic meals, we got through our freshman year. I want to tell you a little story. It was December of 2021, my sophomore year. It was a winter break, the middle of our college career. I went home to Baltimore, Maryland for the holidays and went to one of my favorite Chinese restaurants in the area. After enjoying an amazing meal, I went and grabbed my fortune cookie, as one does, and I opened the fortune cookie and was immediately taken back as I read the fortune, quote, "Develop an appreciation for the current moment." At the time of this, college was flying by. I feel like I blinked and I was halfway through my college career. Reading these 7 simple words has been and will continue to be a moment that defined my college career and journey as I carry this fortune with me in the back of my phone at all times. These simple words remind me to take everything in. Saying goodbye to sophomore year, we hit junior year. No COVID, no restrictions. College felt like college, and we were on the home stretch towards senior year. Friends, family, faculty and staff, and most importantly to the class of 2024, as we stand on the many unknowns that come before us, as the fortune cookie said, I urge you to gain and develop an appreciation for this moment right here, right now, as it will never come again. The laughter shared with friends, the late night conversations in dorm rooms, trips to the C-store, the feeling of friendship, love, and family as we cheer each other on during our victories and lifted each other up during our defeats. These are the moments that define our college experience. The memories that will linger are the quiet ones. The last omelet with Miss Christie and the calf, the last class with faculty who continue to push you, to inspire you, and launch you towards excellence. The last conversation with that mentor or that staff member who allowed you to be where you are today, and the last time walking less than 100 steps to see your best friends. I hope you give gratitude to those who have shown you the beauty of life. Let's remember that this is not an ending, but this is quite literally the beginning. For many of us, this is not a graduation. It's a bittersweet farewell. It's saying goodbye to the familiar faces that have become our second family. It's leaving behind the memories that have shaped us into the individuals we are today. I want you to take a moment to think about the people who have made this journey worthwhile, the friends who have laughed with us in times of joy and stood by us in moments of despair. the professors who have challenged us to think critically, to question boldly, and to strive for excellence in everything we do, and the families who have supported us, encouraged us, and believed in us even when we doubted ourselves. Nothing can take away the last 4 years we have shared together. They are uniquely ours. Class of 2024, seniors, I remember being a young kid hearing the year 2024 and thinking, that's so far away. Well, here it is. May your journey be filled with joy, with fulfillment, and with the knowledge that you are capable of achieving greatness. Thank you.
Here you go. Here you go. Braden, you're so right. Thank you so much for those wise words. And you're so right. Ladies and gentlemen, you saw the faculty who marched here earlier. I wish we had space for them to stay with us. They had to march in and then leave. They'll come back again for the 1:30 ceremony for the Bachelor of Arts students. And we have some 500 faculty members here. Stellar, everyone. I'm very, very proud of them. You know, a university is only as good as its faculty. And Hype University is blessed indeed with stellar faculty, stellar deans, stellar administrators, learned men and women who are deeply committed to the nurture of our students, professional educators esteemed in their fields and recognized in their areas of expertise. Faculty you saw this morning were only undergraduate faculty. So we had a graduate school's graduation on Thursday, and that faculty proceeded with the students at that time. The Board of Trustees of Hype University, dear friends, proudly today has chosen the Reverend Chris Hodges and Mr. Glenn Stearns to be the recipient of the coveted and rarely bestowed honorary doctorate degree. We will bestow the Reverend Hodges' doctorate this morning, and then Mr. Glenn Stearns, who's our keynote speaker this morning, will receive his in the afternoon ceremony. I'd like to invite Reverend Hodges, if you will, to please right here and join me on the platform. Reverend Hodges, we present the Honorary Doctor of Professional Leadership degree to you. It's a distinguished honor indeed. It's an appreciation for your leadership in improving the lives of individuals in communities literally around the world. The Dean of our Khan School of Law and the former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of North Carolina, Mr. Mark Martin. I don't know why I'm having a hard time with your name this morning. Mark Martin will actually read the resolution.
Resolution in honor of Reverend Christopher Wayne Hodges. Whereas Reverend Christopher Wayne Hodges is the founding and senior pastor of Church of the Highlands, a congregation consisting of over 60,000 members on 27 campuses based in Birmingham, Alabama. And whereas, under the leadership of Reverend Hodges, the Church of the Highlands has donated more than $135 million to charitable causes in Alabama and around the world. And whereas Reverend Hodges co-founded the Association of Related Churches, which trains more than 1,000 church planters annually and has planted over 1,077 churches worldwide. And whereas Reverend Hodges has founded a coaching network called Grow Leader, specializing in training and resourcing more than 4,000 pastors annually in the United States, Europe, Australia, and Asia, helping them to reach their growth potential. And whereas Reverend Hodges is a New York Times best-selling author, his books include The Daniel Dilemma, 4 Cups, Out of the Cave, and Pray First, the transformative power of a life built on prayer. And whereas Reverend Hodges is founder and chancellor of Highlands College, America's Ministry Leadership University, a holistic 4-year institution focused on academic instruction, ministry training, character formation, and spiritual development. And whereas Reverend Hodges serves on the board of directors of EQUIP, a global leadership training organization founded by John Maxwell, which has trained more than 6 million leaders in 196 countries. And whereas Reverend Hodges serves on the board of advisors of Global Teen Challenge, a nonprofit organization whose mission is to help individuals in every nation find freedom from life-controlling addictions. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees, the President, and the faculty and staff of High Point University herein extend their deepest appreciation to Reverend Hodges for his leadership in improving the lives of individuals and communities around the world. And be it further resolved by the Board of Trustees and President of High Point University that they approve conferral upon Reverend Christopher Wayne Hodges of the honorary degree of Doctor of Professional Leadership with acknowledgement of his remarkable career and professional accomplishments.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Hodges. Graduates and family members, let me introduce you to a dear friend of mine who serves as our commencement speaker today. At High Point University, we have always guided and encouraged you to have a life of success and significance, a life of legacy and impact. Today, we're sending you off with a commencement speaker who personifies both of those ideals. Glenn Stearns is known for his unrivaled track record of turning his vision and passion into reality through hard work, determination, and grit. Call him the entrepreneur extraordinaire. As a serial entrepreneur, Dr. Stearns' most recent accomplishment is as the founder and CEO of Kind Lending, one of the fastest growing mortgage banks in the industry. His previous venture in this area was Stearns Lending, a nationwide mortgage company he established in 1989. This wholesale lending vision became the #1 lender in the United States. And Dr. Stearns helped over 1 million families achieve home ownership. In 2019, he starred in the television show Undercover Billionaire, which centered around starting over and building a business from the ground floor. The company he built on the show is currently operating today in Erie, Pennsylvania, where the show was filmed. I interviewed him yesterday for my PBS show, and I asked him how that happened. He said they'd been after him time and again to do the show, and they literally took him and put him in Erie, Pennsylvania, a place he's never been before, and they gave him a cheap, beat-up pickup truck and $50. It was $100, I guess, and he had to survive. And I don't know if he's going to tell you the story or not. I hope he does, but how he did it is nothing short of a marvel. He was named Ernst & Young's Entrepreneur of the Year. He was inducted in the Horatio Alger Association for Distinguished Americans. Last year, he published his book, a bestseller, titled Integrity, with the grit in the middle, all caps, integrity, gritty. My slow and painful journey to success was the subline there. I'm honored to present to you today's commencement speaker because this is a guy who's had more adversity in his life that I can share with you here today, including cancer more than once. Is it okay if I tell him? So I like to invite Glenn a lot to lunches and dinners because he doesn't eat. He can't eat. He takes in nutrition in a very different medical and clinical manner. And he cannot eat because he cannot swallow. So if you hear him cough or do something up here, it's because he's a miracle. He's a walking miracle who overcame all the adversity in his life to become such a successful entrepreneur. It's exactly what I've been telling these students the last 4 years. It's exactly why this university is built the way it is, to elevate our sites for a better future. Your parents gave you roots. We want to give you wings so that you can make great things happen in your life. And in so doing, as our speaker yesterday, the baccalaureate, said, he prays that God will give him more than he needs so he can have enough to bless others. Great message yesterday afternoon. So I'm honored to introduce to you my friend. And you know that in the past, we've had extraordinary commencement speakers. Dr. Vincent Price, president of Duke University, spoke here on Thursday afternoon. Ambassador Bonnie McElveen Hunter, entrepreneur and former U.S. ambassador to Finland, was the speaker last year. Daniel Lubitsky, the guy who wanted to create healthy stuff, and he took a few bucks he has and he created this little Kind bar and became one of the largest enterprises in all of the world, was here. Cynthia Marshall, who had 11 miscarriages, who grew up in the poorest section of Los Angeles, and today is the CEO of the Dallas Mavericks. Josh Groban, internationally acclaimed singer. Broadcast legend Tom Brokaw. Dr. Condoleezza Rice, the 66th Secretary of the State. The late General Colin Powell, one of my dear mentors and dear friends who came here very often. He was the former Secretary of State and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and National Security Advisor. Former First Lady Laura Bush was here. Her Majesty Queen Noor of Jordan was here. NASA astronaut Dr. Buzz Aldrin was here, among others. Now, my friend Glenn, allow me to introduce to you the outstanding faculty that you saw this morning, the outstanding deans that we have here, the outstanding administrators as well, all of whom will commit themselves daily to ensure that this is an extraordinary institution of higher learning. Let me also introduce to you, my friend, some 600 graduates who have labored tirelessly and diligently to arrive at this milestone in their lives. As Braden just said, this is a special class. And then I give you all these friends and family members who have gathered here from across the U.S. and across the world, and all those watching us at home on your computer, and all of you watching us in the conference center. We all gathered to celebrate our graduates' achievements and to hear your message. Dear graduates, parents, faculty, and friends, please welcome our featured speaker, Dr. Glenn Stearns.
Wow. Well, thank you, President Kuang. No pressure, no pressure. To the professor, the deans, faculty, the friends and family, Reverend Hodges, and of course, to the class of 2024. I am honored to be here, honored. And I'll tell you, I asked the Reverend what all of us are probably thinking. I mean, if you've got that direct connection, why couldn't you fix the rain? His answer was that he's in sales, he's not in management, so go figure. But I tell you, you are the class of resilience. I mean, wow, what you've been through, you know? And you take this, and a good friend of ours once said that adversity is a terrible thing to waste, okay? You take this and you use it as fuel because you will get better by it. I was, you know, and knowing your president very well and the pressure I knew I'd feel, not with you, but what I'd get after from him. You know, so I had 3 speeches. The first one, just as good as anything your president would say, just as good. But that was my Chat GPT speech, and I figured, while you guys wouldn't know, I would know. We talk about integrity, something that you all got to learn in this university. And that's very important in our lives, right? It's what we know when no one else is watching. That's important. And then I have my speech. Wrote this thing for weeks. And then I have this speech from my heart. I thought, you know what, after really getting to know a lot of you and seeing what this university is about, I thought, maybe I'll go with number 3. Because about being authentic, right? That's who we are. That's the people. We want to get people to understand us and know who we are. That's how you're going to communicate and you're going to win in this world. Not by trying to be somebody else, because you don't have to be. So my theme, I guess you could call it, is more on adaptation, okay? You've been very good at that so far. You've learned a lot about that. And I guess I'll try to convince you that living in the middle, being comfortable, it's not such a great place to be, right? Being ordinary, we all know. We want to be extraordinary, right? So staying in the middle is not somewhere that you're ever going to be able to grow. This little story about the year you were born. I had decided to go out to New York City. I wanted to move rocks. I wanted to try to do something that would make a difference. I was by myself, and I got on a train on the way home. I was not married at the time. And there was a pretty girl that sat down, and I thought maybe I should ask her to sit next to me. And then this old man came, and he sat right there in front of me, right next to me, and I'm thinking, no, and I've got to talk to this man for 2 hours. And I saw he was wearing a ring, and that was a big ring, and it said basketball on it. And I said, so you like basketball? And he says, well, I guess you could say so. He says, I own the team. He says, I'm Abe Pollin. I own the Washington Redskins, and I own the Wizards. And I spent 2 hours with this. I would have spent $1 million to be able to learn what that man taught me about loyalty, integrity. So sometimes we get a little rain, we end up here, and you never know what happens in life, right? And yes, I said that I was not married. That means I had an ex-wife, okay? Well, my ex-wife, while, I'm not that proud about having a failure, the reality is she is the godmother to my wives and my little girls. So, it's not really about what happens to you in life. It's about what you do with what happens to you in life, right? Imagine a world where you have no pain, okay? You have no disappointment, no heartache, no struggle. Wouldn't you love to live in that world? I mean, would you sign up for that? Well, I will tell you, pain, adversity, these things can be wonderful teachers, right? This is what life is about, not living in the middle. So what I hope I can get across to you is how it is important to be able to understand that being able to celebrate the highs and live with the lows are going to be what make your life the best thing that you've ever done. I was born in an alcoholic family, drug-addicted family, outskirts of Washington, D.C., had bars on the windows. I was dyslexic, failed 4th grade. Not a great year to fail, by the way. If you have kids, do it in kindergarten when they won't remember. In 8th grade, I had a child, 14 years old. I have a baby. 10th grade, intervention. Couldn't handle the 8th grade very well. But a lot of pain. Had lots and lots of pain. You'd think I'd want to avoid that pain, right, at all costs. You'd think that I'd want to kind of get out of that life. But I tell you, that is not what life is about, as I said. let's start small for a second, right? What stands out in your life? What are the things that you remember that you think about? Wow. And maybe it was just singing in your class, or bungee jumping, or skydiving, or doing something that, really made you thrill. Maybe it's going to be your wedding, or a baby being born, a new job. I'll tell you, all of these thrills and successes and achievements, they're moments, right? They're just all moments in time that you're going to live with, you're going to love. But they also are the ones that have the most stress, right? They're the ones that give you the anxiety, the ones you lose sleep over. But they give you the most joy. Love, well, that's scary, right? I mean, what if it doesn't work out, right? What is it that they say? It's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved. So don't run with the herd, right? Don't play it safe, The highs and the lows are what it's all about. So I'm going to give you 3 pieces of advice. Now listen, I do not remember my speaker and I do not. I don't expect you, but I hope you're going to get at least one of these nuggets, and you're going to be able to latch onto it. Number 1, don't be afraid to get lost, okay? Embrace being uncomfortable. When my mom and I, when we were very young, my mom would take my sister and I and put us in the car. Usually it was because my dad had been drinking. Put us in the car and say, let's go, kids. We're going to get lost. And we would drive and drive. She'd pull over at some old farmhouse, pull her hands, throw them in the air. Guess what? And we would scream, we're lost. And it was so fun to find our way back home. When you sit there and you think about it, you can either be scared about what's around the corner, or you could be excited, right? You've got a choice to make. We've all got choices. It reminds me of that father who had the 2 children. One was an optimist, one was a pessimist. I don't know if you've heard this, but he didn't know what to do, how to convince this one young kid that was a pessimist. So he put them both in rooms. The pessimist he put in a room full of toys. The optimist in a room full of manure. About an hour later, he opens the door, and the pessimist, he's saying, Dad, these toys are all cheap. They're all broke. This isn't the right toys. This is horrible. He goes into his other son. He opens the door, and the kid is digging and digging. What are you doing, son? He says, with all this manure, there's got to be a pony somewhere in here. It's all how you look at it, right? We've got a choice. We can make it. So you're either going to walk out of here with fear or with excitement, okay? But either way, it's not going to change the fact. It's time to get going, right? And when you do it, I want you to build your safety net of people, right? Find your tribe. Find the people that are going to help lift you up. Find the balcony friends, okay? The ones that celebrate you, not your basement friends. We all know who they are. Find your balcony friends. Number 2, embrace life's up and downs, okay? Think about it again. Don't live in the middle, the highs and the lows. I'm going to try to convince you of that the middle is boring. It's ordinary, as we talked about. And from everything I've seen, you guys are extraordinary. Now, you take yesterday. That speech the Reverend gave was amazing. And the choir, I was watching the choir, and there was a couple that just stood out, all right? The music, it moved me. But to watch a few of those singers, not only were they singing, but they just got into it. They closed their eyes. You could feel their soul, right? It was about him just going for it. I start tearing up, thinking about just the beauty of wanting to just feel it and understand it and live it. That's what it's all about. Sorry. I didn't swallow it either, by the way. I met a young man yesterday. He's the #1 intern for an insurance company. I don't know if he's here today, right now in this group, but he brought the people from the insurance company with him. I met another young man who's going into the military. You talk about extraordinary. It was really wonderful to be able to see what this class is made of. Well, I'm going to take you back 2007 and 8 as we spoke about the big financial crash that happened. Well, I was at the top of my game financially, and now I've crashed to the bottom. I mean, I had millions and millions and millions of dollars of loans that had gone bad. I have lost 85% of my revenue. I've got credit lines that have just gone away. It was the darkest period of my life. Didn't know how I was going to get through that. I turned to a mentor of mine and I said, well, what am I going to do? And he reminded me of a time he had owned the Seattle Mariners and an airline. He said both of them went on strike at the same time. He says, the hardest thing I ever did in my life. He says, but I stopped, I communicated, I fought through it. He said it became the best thing I've ever done in my life, and also a great investment that he did. But he looked at me, put his finger out, and he says, Glenn, this too shall pass. So whenever we get ourselves in a bind, remember, it's not forever, okay? This too will pass. Right after that, I had a friend graduating from a business group that I was in, and we celebrated for him. And when I was cleaning up, I had there was one bottle of champagne that remained unopened, and I was walking back to my office, and I put it in the refrigerator. I remember looking at it, going, "If I get myself out of this one, I'm gonna pop that bottle, right? But I can't wait." Well, I went to work, just went to all the investors, did everything I could to try to communicate, and we came out of that the #1 wholesale lender in the country. But I would look at that bottle every time, and not yet, right? It's not time. We sold our business right then. Wall Street wanted in, so we sold a majority of the company to the largest private equity group in the world. And as in the immortal words of Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder, we sold it for lots of money. Not yet, as I looked at that bottle of champagne, right? The minute I sold it, I wasn't feeling good. As your president said, I ended up having cancer. Twice. Fought through the cancer, lost 45 pounds, hardest thing I'd probably ever done. Got through it. Ended up doing the reality show, Undercover Billionaire. #1 show on Discovery for 5 years. But I look at that bottle of champagne. Not yet. The day Discovery announced the show, Undercover Billionaire, coming out this fall, is the same day the investors that bought me declared bankruptcy, owing me lots of money. So there you go, right? Life has its funny twists and turns. So we started Kind Lending. It's become the top 10 lender faster than anybody in the country. And then, of course, the day we open our doors, the governor shuts down all non-essential workers. So we had to work from home with no infrastructure and growing. So, again, I tell you, life has a funny way, but you know what I learned? I've got this bottle, and it's not yet, right? You never celebrate these things too high or too low. Life is, again, funny. So when we sit and you're at the top, just stop for a second. Be grateful, be thankful, because it won't last. But when we're at the bottom, stop again and realize, wow, we got nowhere to go but up. It's a wonderful place to be, believe it or not, because you know you got only upside at that point. So I sit there and I'm going to give you the last piece of advice, which is that it's never too late, ever. There's a very strong woman who said, do not fear failure, but be terrified of regret. It's very true. My dad, as you know, he struggled with alcohol. I mean, this man, he said he was an introvert. He said he just wasn't a people person, never wanted to stand out, wanted to avoid pain. And he, of course, he masked it with alcohol. Well, my mom left. He was a very, very broken man. And I went to college, and that was the man I knew, 30 years, broken man. My wife started inviting him to some trips we'd have, and there he was quoting scripture and talking about philosophers. I said, who is this man? I mean, I didn't even know he could barely read, you know, and now here he is. Well, when we went around the world on our boat, we had, when I had gotten the cancer, I asked my dad to come. He and I dove and fished 42 days in a row. He said yes to life. I mean, we hiked mountains and waterfalls. We climbed through all of Asia. We jumped out of helicopters, went to the jungles of Cambodia. I mean, this is a gentleman that became my best friend. Well, 2 years ago, he had gotten COVID, and after 30 years of smoking, it did a number on him. So he spent 4 months in the hospital. I was doing a speech while he was in the hospital to a group, and a man walked up to me and he says, you know, your dad, he's a hero. I said, my dad? My dad lives in Maryland, lives in a little small group. I mean, he goes, no, I know your dad. He is a hero. He said, he's a legend in the world of addiction and recovery. He spent 40 years, something I never knew this man was doing. I mean, I didn't even think he contributed at all, you know, to life. I didn't think he just said no. And those last 10 years, boy, did I get to see a different man, a man who embraced life, took it for all it was worth. Well, I got to go back to that hospital, look my dad in the eye, and say, Dad, you're a hero. I said, not only are you a hero, you're my hero, Dad. Well, he got to die with dignity. And he made a difference, and he knew it. So if you label yourself introverted, if you think maybe that you are shy, or you label yourself extroverted and outgoing, never let the inner voice, the negative inner voice, okay, never let that or anybody else tell you you can't have big dreams. And in your own words of your very president, there's no such thing as unrealistic dreams, only unrealistic timelines. So, class, please embrace the pain, live life's moments, understand that it's a joy to go on this journey, ups and downs. Be grateful when you're at the top. Realize at the bottom that this too shall pass. I am so excited for you and for what you're going to do. And for those of you that are Star Wars, may the 4th be with you.
Thank you very, very much, Glenn. You should know that this is a drug-free and alcohol-free campus. Therefore, I'm going to confiscate this bottle of champagne. Braden, what are you doing after this commencement? You hold it for me, will you? I trust you, Braden. Don't embarrass me. You got to give it back to the man. All right. The typical graduation speaker is the one who stands up and says, let me give you 3 things where you can just make it to the moon. Do this, do this, do this, and you'll be great. I wanted a speaker to this COVID class that says, look, guys, I've been through hell and back a few times, and I'm here. It's tough for me to speak because I had cancer in my mouth, but I'm here. And because of the rain, you're going to do 2 commencement celebrations, not 1, and I'll be here again this afternoon to speak to your students. I wanted you to meet a real guy who struggled so much in life from the moment he was a baby till the moment he had cancer. And yet, what did he do? He built companies, helped people, made the world a better place. Ultimately, what matters when we're all gone to heaven, I hope, is not how much we have or how many awards we've gathered, but rather the impact we've left in the world. Now, we're about to do something, and we will interrupt it at one point to do something important, and I know that you will support us on that. And, oh no, that's actually this afternoon. So we've had to redo all my notes from morning and afternoon. I think it's in the afternoon that we're doing that. Yes. Okay. So, graduates, finally we arrive at the moment, baby. And that's the time when I would like to do a seminar about opportunities in El Salvador. You okay with that? No, this is the moment to celebrate you and to award you your degree. So, Mr. Provost.
Will the candidates receiving the Bachelor of Science degree and the Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree please stand? Mr. President, each of these candidates has completed the requirements for the Bachelor of Science degree or Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree. Each has been approved by the faculty, and each has been certified by the Registrar of the University. I present them to you for the awarding of their degrees.
By virtue of the authority invested in me by the state of North Carolina and the Board of Trustees of Hypo University, I hereby confer upon you the Bachelor of Science degree and the Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree with all of the rights and all of the privilege appertaining thereto.
Will the candidates now please come forward to receive your degrees?
Elena K. Adams.
Joellen Ala Menza.
Alexis Danielle Antretter. Zaira Fatima Arfin. Elijah Gabriel Acebis. Victoria Lynn Auld. Anastasia Avlonitis. Christian Robert Baker. Haley Baylog. Alice Case Barrett. Allison Marie Bavarov. Lauren Elizabeth Bechtold. Olivia Grace Bertolini.
Jennifer Elsa Billhuber.
Parker S. Blue. Kyle Hunter Bowen. Isabella Rossi Bogert. Lindsay Ann Bonsall. Morgan Brittany Botwinick. Hayes Sandlin Bowman. Haley Nicole Bracci. Aiden Michael Brashears. Elizabeth Rose Brown. Gabriel Assad Brown. Charlotte Rose Hoyles Bryan. Sarah Grace Buckles. Matthew Joseph Burton. Hannah Elizabeth Bush. Madeline Rose Bykoff. Colt Jeremiah Byers. Delaney Joe Campbell. Hunter Lee Campbell. Rachel Evelyn Carter. Justin Jiang Chen. Michaela Chin. Sydney Lauren Cretion. Mia Ray Ciccarelli. Jenna Kluge. Nathan Joseph Conrad. Colin Patrick Cook. Matthew Thomas Constantino. Ashley Laurel Catone. Ethan Ray Anthony Cox. Adam Connor Craig. Azriel Christina Crank. Robert Tyler Cradle. Walter Leland Crowley. Lucy Isabel Cush.
Christopher Serwinski.
Emily Catherine Davis. Rachel Grace Day. Chelsea Lee DeLapp. Ava DeMonte. Alexandra Elizabeth DiPerno. Sophia Catherine Dokis. Angelina Nicole Dodato. Tierra Andrea Louise Dukes.
Irene Datusky.
Evie Elise Eckensberger. Jacob Haynes Eddy. Hannah Paige Engels. Jenna Exley. Keegan Fales. Macy Elizabeth Farmer. Savera Farouk. Sarah M. Fernandez Bravo. Sadie Marie Winter Flagg. Carissa Nicole Fryer. Keelan Elizabeth Gallagher. Monica Irama Galt. Emily Paige Gillis. Jenna Lee Ginther. Harris Goldstein. Andrew Ryan Goss. Kaylee Ann Green. Carly Ellis Gruss. Alexandra Sierra Hall. Anna Grace Hankins. Jaden Audrey Harloff. Ethan Meade Harshbarger. Jefferson Baylor Hott. Billy Lee Hayden. Amanda Rachel Heafy. Emerson Paige Heckler. Alexa Rose Herndon. Brandon T. Hare. Wesley High. Jason S. Hinkle. Ryan Lewis Hersher. William Patterson Hodges. Blake Horn. Dylan Thomas Hudson. Michael Joel Hudson.
Caroline Grace Infinger.
Jesus Javier Jimenez. Ashley Johnson. Sheridan M. Johnson. Jacob Preston Joy. Claudia Elizabeth Kaiser. Alexia Lee Kalor. Madison McNulty Kamer. Carly Ann Kane. Nina Marie Kaufman. Patrick T. Kelly.
Madison Lee Kiesling.
Rory Christian King. Victoria Jane Kitley. Isabella Rose Klein.
So Barry Kitley, hello. Let me take your mic. This is Barry Kitley, a Senior Vice President at Hype University, responsible for all the things that go on in this place. Without him, we would all just shut down the university. This is his daughter. Barry went to college here. His wife went to college here. His father went to college here. His mother went to college here. He has 2 more daughters. He's filing for bankruptcy in about 6 or 7 years.
Isabella Rose Klein. Kristen Elizabeth Klanowski. Gabriella Chelsea Korb. Mackenzie Lynn Kraris. Ainsley Grace Crone. Kaylin Nicole LaFleche. Jake Michael Lagana. Carrie Lynn Lambert. Katie Ann LaPointe. Garrett Douglas Laws. William Randall Lay IV. Carly Braden Long. Gabrielle Nicole Lozon. Jeremy Hartman Moss. Alec Manzer. Lindsay J. Marino. Emily Marr. Josue Israel Mayorga. Daniela J. McDonald. Kaylee Maureen McDonald. Kiernan Ryan McDonald. Delaney May McNally. J. Helen Felicita Medina Aguilar. Jared Patrick Mybom. Gwendolyn Marika Miedema. Emma Nicole Migos. Alexis Gabrielle Mincy. Samantha Ashley Mitchell. Colin Jeffrey Moe. Emma Sophia Molna. Jessica Monushko. Haley Marie Morris. Aiden Alexander Morrison. Lisa Motosicki. Ethan Hugh Muckerhide. Ashley Rebecca Muffson. Chloe N. Murnane. Cole William Murray. Jenny Nekiba. Nu Tue Win No. Matthew Ryan Nickel. Abigail Grace Nimmo. Thomas Osman. Andrew Bryson Parker. Faith Jacqueline Paul. Jocelyn May Louise Payne. Parker M. Felix. Angelina Jolie Pierre.
Okay.
Jillian Taylor
Yes, right here it
Quintaro.
says. It's on
Krista
the
Ray
next page.
Lucinda Powell.
Do you want it back to the first page? Yeah.
Kelly Polk.
Christopher Price.
Aaron Christopher Pine. Matthew Walker Randazzo. Catherine Atwater Reeve. Luca Marie Reich. Elizabeth Rose Ring. Samantha Alexis Riveros. Blake Andrew Robinson. Amber Rochford. Mia Marie Retker. Kaylee Grace Ross. Brenton Connor Rowe. Lauren Marie Seda. Olivia F. Salas. Kevin Roberto Sampson. Anna Lynn Sanders. Joanna Catrinell Scalco. Rihanna Rose Shantz. Alexa Marie Schutte.
William Schultz.
Megan Hadley Seal. Elena Hennessy Seltzner. Lauren Emily Selznick. India Danielle Shannon. Sophia Grace Sharp. Haley Megan Sheedy. Lauren Nicole Shin. Ralph Denzel David Seacat. Blessing Riona Smith. Madison Brianne Smith. Matthew Charles Smith. Zayn Alistair Diaz Sobehana. Rachel Jane Sparrow. Elijah David Sprung. Alyssa Nicole Staggs.
Paris N. Stankwich.
Robin Brooks Stemple. Morgan Doucette Story. Meredith Craig Strauss. Justin Andrew Takis.
Hannah Faith Tamling.
Jacob Hunter Tarosky. Ava Marie Taylor. Peyton M. Thomas. Jane Elizabeth Thompson. Joshua Clark Thompson. Ryan Allen Thompson. Haldora Thorsdaughter. Kaylee Mae Thurston. Shaylee Amber Tribuzio. Michael Mikhail Trotter Jr. Elijah Lambert Trutt. Lily Jane Tucker. Chris Hendrick Van Niekerk. Lindsay Rose Vanderstad. Joseph Robert Vano Jr. Isabel Viana Teixeira. Lacey Nicole Wagoner. Catherine Sue Waldeck. Jessica Tate Wallace. Fiona Mae Walsh. Zoe Grace Waterman. Rachel Michelle Watney. Sarah Claire Waters. Margaret Weinbaum. Jillian Wells. Megan Jane West. Christina Joelle Wiggins. Emily Claire Wyatt. Emmy Alexandra Yates. Elise A. Zafiro. Hannah Marie Zealous. Alexandra Nadine Zimmerman. Kelly Brewer. Piper Dillon.
Will the candidates receiving the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration degree please stand? Mr. President, each of these candidates has completed the requirements for the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration degree. Each has been approved by the faculty, and each has been certified by the registrar of the university. I present them to you for the awarding of their degrees.
By virtue of the authority invested in me by the state of North Carolina and by the Board of Trustees of High Point University, I hereby confer upon you the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration degree with all of the rights and privileges appertaining thereto. I will now invite the senior class president, Braden Boyle, to be the first graduate to receive this diploma.
Marcus Braden Boyle. Cole Abraham Abloh. Blake Matthew Adams. John Wolf Adams. Colin Carey Arake. Byron Callanan Aarons. Alexandra Asaro. Robert Miller Ash. Trey Austin. Kathleen Nicole Backert. Carson Scott Baer. Quentin C. Barriel. Grant David Barson. Carter Kendall Batts. Connor Gregory Bauer. Guy Richard Baratich III. Jacob R. Berg. Alexa Brianne Beresford. Alexander Hutton Betterton. Peyton Alexandra May Bigelow. John Matthew Vittori Jr. Michaela Marie Blaha. Elena Rose Blessing. William Jake Blevins.
Faith Anna Bordewick.
Sarah Hunt Borland. Sean Thomas Bowen.
Micah Isaiah Bridges.
Emily Brisson. Mark J. Bruce. Morgan Lindsay Buckley. Jackson R. Burgess. Victoria Rose Byron. Logan M. Cabay. Gavin Alexander Kane. Zachary John Calnan. Mary Parker Cannon. Matthew Ryan Kaplan. Nicholas Kaiser Carbone. Paige Louise Carduner. Owen Thomas Carter. Vinnie Chen.
Bryson Young Childress.
Schaefer Martin Conrad Klatt. Zane Jackson Cohen. Lauren Conley. Jack Joseph Cooper. Lindsay Aish Taela Cooper. Devin Osceola Cottrell. Andrew Thomas Cavelli. Drew Covet. Ainsley Denise Cromer. Frederick Xavier Cumby. Parker Ivan Curry. Julia Morgan Daddario. Joseph David Dahlkemper. Charles Gregory Donka. Nicholas Parrish Deaton. Marissa Ann Del Priori. Gabriana Margaret Del Vecchio. Barbara Gabrielle Deleon Abus. Sean Michael DeMarco. Kira Marie DiNicola. Mark R. Dent Jr. Nicholas James Desmond. Francesca Maria Di Filippo. Benjamin R. Demento. Kayla Grace Dixon. Terry Edward Dixon Jr.
David Andrew Fletcher Disney.
Emily Marie Donaldson. Noah Joseph Donovan. Emerson Land Doolittle. Gavin Michael Drake. Zachary Matthew Drendel. Bridget Tara Dubrow. Shekinah K. Duncan. Timothy Jackson Dupree. Cosmo J. Esposito. Nolan Reed Evans. Evan Garrett Exter. Cade Falgren. Oliver Peterson Farmer. Zion Isaiah Fearon.
That's it? You can do somersault,
Ethan Patrick Fee. Kyle Patrick Feeney. Alessandro J. Felice. Annalise Dahlia Figueroa. Reese Ryan Fisher. Matthew Michael Fischetti. Alexander Lewis Fisher. Cassidy Grace Fletcher. Quinn Denary Fletcher. Dylan Thomas Foley. Daniel Joseph Forsyth. Michael James Fratello. Joel Thomas Fredericks. Cody Paul Gabay. Lexi Gabrinowitz. Samuel Nash Gainey. Walter Elvis Galarowitz. Peter Gallo. Christopher William Gallucci. Aiden Paul Garver. Skylar Jordan Gass. Keaton Spencer Geist. Sarah Laylee Gatanchi. Matthew S. Giz. John Gimbalvo. Courtney Janae Gibson. Mason Gleiber. Paul L. Getz III. Allison Rose Gosling. Andrew Schaefer Grecken. Henry R. Grill. Amanda Grove. Leslie Stephanie Guevara Martinez. Blaine Hadís.
William Edwin Hagan III.
Jonathan M. Hahn. Jacob Saylor Hedbavny. Joseph John Helfert III. Christian Michael Hennessy. David Samuel Hicklin. Ryan Michael Lubb Jr. John William Hoblitzel. James Peter Hope.
Maura Bridget Houston.
Arthur James Hoynack. Alexander D. Hughes. Marindia Lavelle Humbert. Abby Elizabeth Hutton. Gabriel Glenn Emery. Jade Lejeune Isola. Kyle Matthew Isolda. Chloe Elizabeth Johnson. Naila Michelle Johnson. Jonah Christopher Johnston. Allison Mackenzie Jones. Sarah Bryn Katani. John Wyatt Keating. Aiden Patrick Kennedy. Jackson Clegg Kazaya. Charlie Parks Klingler. Ursa Kochi. Richard Edward Kozlowski III. Madison Victoria Kramer. Jackson Mills Kreshsa. Mitchell Scott Gerald Labby. Hope Ann Labriola. Gregory Alton Largent. Jack Dominic LaSala. Jackson Claude Leach. Jade A. Levitt. Samuel Jordan LeBron. Ashley Elise Levister. John Walter Liebkeman. David John Link.
Benjamin N. Lithicum.
Jake Gentry Linthicum.
Yes. Ashley Nicole Longbottom.
Vivian Ann Elizabeth Love. Logan Lucenti. Megan Grace Lucier, Dylan Elizabeth Mayberry, Andrew Morris Margolis, Letizia Marsico, Alden Martin, Sean Paul Martin, Julian Alexander Maceo, Nicholas J. Massey, Morgan Taylor Mask, Michael David Mathewson, Braden Maye, Drew Wilson McCormick, Kevin Patrick McDermott, Cassidy McFeely, Michael Francis McGreal, Sean Cullen McDonnell, Ridge Lanzi, Carly Ann McGuire, Carly Roy McNamara, Alexander Wade Medlin, Thomas Wesley Meehan, Jackson Riley Melton, Gabrielle Helen Meltzer,
Logan Merrihew,
Theodore Grant Merritt, John Lloyd Metz, Christopher Andrew Michaels, Michael Andrew Mahalik, Isabella Rose Madura, Margaret Elizabeth Millardo,
Mia Elizabeth Miller,
Jordan Christina Mills, Leonardo De Campo Moda, Daniel Charles Monfils, Ashley Nicole Montanez, Genevieve Alyssa Moore, Maria Angelica Morales, Amanda Lee Moran, Reese Gordon Morrison, Bianca Rose Natoli, Lily Elizabeth Nelson, Grady Scott Newton, Tess Bernadette Wynn, Anant Nalab, Cassia Marie O'Brien, Quentin Matthew O'Hara, Camille Elise Oliver, Sienna Valerie Rose Olson, William Calhoun Oppenheimer, Thomas Guy Osa II, Kiera Aaron O'Shea, Jeremy Joel Otero Carrion, Andrew Joseph Pace, Corey Stephen Palubinski, Nicholas J. Passananti, David Pearson, Alexander Peden, Celestina Pemberton, Megan Ann Pennington, Jamie Adele Perkins, Jessica Nicole Peroni, Alexander Coleman Perry, Parker Lawrence Pierce, Morgan Alexis Pinkney, Joseph James Pinto, Cedric L. Pitt,
Alyssa Nicole Patari,
Griffin Connor Paulett, Ryan Michael Polidoro, Sally Louise Power, Kristen Hope Price, Philip Anthony Priolo, Nathan David Pine, Rachel Mackenzie Radcliffe, Amanda Grace Ramsden, Lucas Marco Rapetti, Lorenzo Salvatore Repack, Quinn Reynolds, Chandler Dean Rhine, Bradley Crawford Ryder, Bradford Dolan Rizzo, Nicholas Rizzo, Claire Marie Roberts, Fiona Reka Rocky, Nathaniel Adam Rowe, Aleda Guadalupe Rojas Valerio, Troy Oliver Ross, Michael Guy Pacheco Rozier, Ryan Joseph Ruhalter, Tyler Todd Rumsey, Asher Addison Rustin, David Francis Ryan, Mackenzie Ryan, Natalie Lisa Ryan, Stephen Michael Sabia, Michael Peter Sater, Chloe Tessa Segal, David John Santisi Jr., Corbin Joseph Saracino, Nicholas S. Sarno, Marlis Marie Sauer, Daniel Luke Savino, Alexander Hayden Sawney, Christian Daniel Suina, Daniel Thomas Scalzo, Jacob Ethan Schimberg, Sylvester Victor Shorn, Daniel Patrick Scully, Andrew Connor Seaman, Alexander Olcott Seidman, Alexis Ella Shannon, Caitlin N. Sheldon, Samuel M. Siegel Horn, John Thomas Cierchio, Rafe Sinclair, Ashley Marie Schoberg, Michael Smid, Dariana Asia Smith, Ronald Noah Smith, Pepe J. Smith, Jordan Christopher Solomon. Dominic J. Spatalisano. Davis Merritt Spees. Elijah Jackson Spees. Finn Bradley Stafford. Hunter A. Starsev. Tyler Anthony Steigerwald. Hunter Blair Steinow. Gabriella Rose Stellato. Joshani Irie Stevens. Devin Alexandra Stoddard. Hoyt Griffith Strain III. Catherine Grace Sugden. Kathleen Sarah Sullivan. Danielle Hayun Suh.
Our Ocean Sundar.
Stephen James Sweeney. Connor Daniel Thiel. Caitlin Elizabeth Thompson. Gavin Carlos Tierney. Dominic Anthony Timmons. Mackenzie Page Tomline. Aldo Torres Garcia. Jack Edward Townsend. Kwong Ha Tran. Tony Sukalis. Isaiah J. Tyler. Spencer H. Kurth Underwood. Mackenzie Lee Urban. Jack Kenneth Van Overbeck. Jordan Marie Vincent. Maxwell Benjamin Vogel. Christopher Michael Waldemar. Peyton Jordan Ward. Chase Matthew Warner. Isabel Virginia Welch. Joseph M. Wells. Owen Haynes Welty. Devin Justin Williams. Chloe Alexandria Wilson. Brandon Wood. Brett Wade Wozniak. Madison L. Ranowski. Ryan Michael Vaughn.
Ethan Michael Ibanez.
Sydney I. Zaremba. Hugo Xavier Zechary.
Will all graduates please stand, turn, and face the audience? Graduates, you may now take your tassel and move it from the right to the left, signifying completion of your undergraduate degree.
All right, thank you very much. Turn around, have a seat. Now, parents, as we celebrate your students' transformation today, I'm reminded that as one class goes out, one class comes in, we'll have the largest, we're not trying to be bigger, but we'll have the largest freshman class. I don't know what that is. If we were outside, we were going to have a flyover. 6 fighter jets were going to fly over you. But inside, we considered it inside, but we thought we'd have to sacrifice our lives for it. As one class goes out, one class comes in, we're going to have the largest freshman class in the history of this university. At this moment, we're hoping a few freshmen, don't say this outside this room, we're hoping that they will pull out because we have way too many, we don't have space for all of them. So what a great story that is, how this university has evolved and transformed and kept our values and our principles along the way. My friends are always amazed at how well behaved you are, how good you look, how you represent the best that America can offer. And I just want to congratulate you. And graduates, I just got to let you know this, just so you'll know, this fall, we have a young lady from Georgia who applied, I guess, everywhere. She got 200 acceptances, including Ivy League schools of all kinds. She received $11 million in scholarships, and she had to make one choice by May 1. And where do you think she's going to school? High Point University, baby, High Point University. Because she wants to be extraordinary. She wants to soar like an eagle. So we want to also celebrate the generosity, commitment, and sacrifice that you have made to propel these graduates forward, parents and family and friends. No one achieves much in this life without the support and guidance of others. So it is a tradition on this campus that upon graduation, as we have done at Convocation, you recall, we give these graduates a blanket. And there is a blanket sitting in the back of every seat. They know what to do with this blanket. This blanket is to be given. They can enjoy it for 24 hours. After that, it has to be given to somebody who planted a seed of greatness in their heart, mind, and soul. This must be given to someone who said, I believe in you. You can make it. You may be dyslexic, Dr. Stearns, but you made it. You made it. So I owe you a blanket before you leave here. And somebody believed in you. In my case, it was a 4th grade educated mother who brought 5 of us when my dad died at age 6. And she brought us up and she said, you can do it. It's the art of the possible. When people say to me, how did this university do what it has done in the middle of COVID, in the middle of the Great Recession? I said, we believe in the art of the possible. And we attract staff and faculty here who believe the same, and an abundance of students who believe that God created you for a purpose, and then you're going to achieve that purpose with enormous power and strength. So you've got to give this blanket away to somebody who made a huge difference in your life. If you don't give the blanket away, when you die, you'll go straight to hell. Sorry about that. Now, the good thing is Dr. Hodges can show you the way out of hell pretty fast here. But you're in sales, right? So you can do it. You're not in management. Oh, my goodness. So, and now, as we end the ceremony, Clark, the American eagle, will fly over your heads, graduates, to symbolize the start of your faithful and courageous life as responsible and leading citizens of the world. Clark was hatched at the World Bird Sanctuary's breeding facility in 2002 and received his training as a flyer at a young age. As Clark soars over the graduates, Dr. Mark Foster Chair and Professor of Music and Director of Choral Activities, will sing America the Beautiful. Now, remain seated, otherwise you will die. After Clark finishes his flight, and Clark has been known over the last 3-4 times, including the graduate event we had on Thursday, as he comes up on the stage, he likes to leave a piece of him at High Point University. So should you see a long, white, flying saucer, it's eagle poop. And you might see it here this morning or this afternoon. We'll see what happens. In all seriousness, after Clark finishes his flight, I will ask all of you to stand for the recessional of the stage guests. The faculty marshals will begin the recessional, and then the platform will follow. I will then ask the students, I will ask you now, after the recessional finishes at the end, students to save time and make it comfortable for you to get to see your parents very quickly. We're not asking you to recess. That will take another 20, 30 minutes. As you know, at 1:30, we have another ceremony for the Bachelor of Arts students. We'll have just as many people. So ladies and gentlemen, I have to beg for your cooperation. I'm going to ask you to leave this building as soon as you can. You cannot go back the way you came in, because there are people already be standing in line there trying to come in with buses and so on. So you're all going to recess on the other side of the building. They'll show you as you go out, they'll show you it's on this side of the building, and you will recess to the street. This is a major highway. However, the city has shut down the street for today, so it's safe. Buses will be standing in a long line there. Should you be going back to the campus, then you'll have to walk right down half the block, turn back in, and walk back onto campus. So I hope this is clear for everybody. Ordinarily, we would never do this, but we've got to get another 7,000 or 8,000 people in here, and they have about 30 minutes to clean this place and prepare it for the next group. So thank you for your cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a wonderful event this morning. You've been remarkable, and I appreciate you. We all appreciate you. Thank you, and may God bless us all.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for patriot dream that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God mend thine every flaw. Confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty in law.